Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today playing this is the fourth match against Darv. So this is a great one. So again, just to reiterate, these were from Torrent Stream the other day. We did our best of 5, and this is game number 4. So basically, he picked dwarves, so I went dark elves. So this is definitely an easier matchup for me than previous ones. So I went quite a wide line. Because I wanted to go fairly wide, that way if he brought, very elite units, I could get some surround, get into his artillery, all the rest of it. So I went with Corsairs, mostly in the front. Now these guys, they don't have a lot of armor piercing, but they do have anti-infantry, so they will match up well against Dwarf Warriors if he decides to go fairly wide. If not, then, I will have the numbers, so that'll help. Also, I've got 3 Hargneth Executioners. These guys, obviously, just fantastic against Dwarves. And by bringing 3 units, it means that you can't just wipe out one unit with, like an organ gun and then call that a day. I'll still have 2 more units. They can just hack through basically any infantry he's got. Hammerers will do a hell of a lot of damage to me, and that's why I brought Dark Shards. So I didn't bring the ones with shields, because honestly, I don't mind if they get killed to bits by ranged units. I just want them to do the damage to, like a couple of units. So, attack with 1 unit with one, and 1 unit with the other, and it'll help my front line win. And then I can just rely on my infantry to do the damage. Also, I've got a couple of Witch Elves. These guys can be great at stopping Slayers. And just generally, just getting into anything. It'll lower, when a unit goes crazy, it'll lower their melee defense, which is good. And their speed, which means these guys will be able to clean up quite a lot. But they do really well against Slayers, and it stops Slayers being able to chase around units. So here, I've actually got a Death Hag, because he's not on the, she's not on the big chariot. But I find she's really useful in the front line in this matchup, because she can just sort of take on a Thane or a Runesmith, and it really just helps the infantry, stay fighting for longer. So also, I've got Malekith. So obviously I put him on a chariot. So the only thing here is I need to keep away from Slayers, and I need to keep away from the Thane, who will have the Tormentor Sword, because of course he will. So that's all I really do with Malekith, and then he can just run around. I'm just going to spam Chillwind, because with the Dark Magic, they get their sort of, special extra thing that procs when you cast. It lowers, it adds armor piercing, I believe. Or is it Sunder Armor? I can't remember which one it is now, actually. Let's have a look. Either way, it makes me better at killing armor. Yeah, here we go. So map wide, 18 seconds, every time I cast a spell, minus 15 armor to the entire enemy team. So against the dwarfs, that is amazing. It means my guys won't need as much armor piercing for basically the entire match, because I'll be using Chillwind constantly. So if we look at Darv's army here, so he's gone fairly wide as well. He's got some miners with blasting charges. He's got 2 units of them. Yep, one was out of place. I think he was on the other side. But here you can see he's got a front line of Dwarf Warriors, so the Corsairs should do well against them. He's also got Hammerers. He's got the Grumbling Guard. So both very good picks against the Dark Elves. He's also got Bugsman's Rangers. These guys will trade brilliantly against Dark Shards, because they regenerate. And they do have shields as well, so they'll do fantastically. Also, he's got 2 units of Slayers, because you've got to bring Slayers, right, to deal with cavalry and everything. He's also got his Thane at the back, so if I tried to charge, his Organ Gun with, like, Dark Riders or something from, sort of Vanguard deployed, he could just hit the Tormentor Sword and kill them all. So, obviously, he's got the Organ Gun, that's going to really hurt. He's also got a standard Dwarf Lord, and he has a Runesmith. So he's got a lot of tools. So let's speed things up and see how it goes. So I'm immediately getting involved here. I'm just going to charge straight in. I'm going to tell my Witch Elves to go down the side, because if I can get them in the back, then it means they can get onto any Slayers, which will be really useful for me. So Organ Gun doing some early damage. Not a huge amount though. I find it really odd how artillery always aims for the side of a unit now. It should just aim in the middle, surely. But no, it aims on the edge, which is really strange. But you'll see it will do a fair bit of damage. So that's 1 unit of Hargneth Executioners that is going to have a really tough time. Especially right in the middle, it means that he can overwhelm me with the Lord and the Runesmith. Which is why it's great that I brought the Death Hag. She will really help, hold these guys off. So I'm starting to get a little bit of arrow fire into my Black Ark Corsairs. But you see, I'm just going to use these Dark Shards, 1 to attack the Grumbling Guard, and 1 to attack the Hammerers, because frankly, without these 2 units, my front line will just decimate him. I'll have no problems at all dealing with these guys. So you can see also he's using his blasting charges to deal with Witch Elves. That's why I sent Malekith in to try and stop him doing that. But here I'm actually pathing straight through to get onto the Slayers. And I only need a few Witch Elves fighting the Slayers for them to go out of control. And I can, get in the Black Ark Corsairs as well to back them up. So it's the Black Ark Corsairs that can do all the damage. So here I'm just charging Malekith through. I'm just going to keep microing him. Just keep attacking any and all units of infantry. So here you see the Corsairs, even with the blasting charges helping, they are managing to fight these Dwarf Warriors very successfully. You see, same amount of models. So here I've got my Witch Elves, very damaged from the Bugsman's Rangers, but they're going to keep these Slayers busy for a while. So over here you can see the Thane is coming for Malekith. I spot it, so I will actually send Malekith out and around. So here, another Chillwind on a big blob here. You can see the Grumbling Guard have taken a ton of damage from the Dark Shards, which are slowly being picked apart by the Bugsman's Rangers, but I don't care. Honestly, I don't need these guys past taking out the Hammerers, which I've already done, and the Grumbling Guard, which are about to go. So now Malekith, he hasn't really got anything that's going to really do a lot of damage to him. The Runesmith there just got beaten up by the Death Hag, but unfortunately the Lord is going to be able to deal with the Death Hag now. And these Hargneth Executioners are very damaged, but between them they can do a lot of damage to his heroes, so that's good. Other than that though, I've got into the back line. The Corsairs have really helped deal with these Slayers, and now I'll be able to get into the Bugsman's Rangers. I've got the Hargneth Executioners and the Blackheart Corsairs here. They've been Tormentor Sworded, so I can't run straight into the back line, and he is actually doing a lot of damage to these Hargneth Executioners with the Bugsman's Rangers, and the Organ Guns are helping too. So that's very dangerous. So yeah, more Chillwind coming down to stop these Bugsman's Rangers. It will slow them down, which means these Corsairs can chase them if they try and run away. But he's not trying to run away, he's going to try and sit and fight. But to be fair, they do regenerate, and they do have pretty good combat stats actually. If we have a look, it's yeah, 43 melee defense, 22 melee attack. It's very good. So Runesmith coming to back him up, but I've got 2 units of Hargneth Executioners, one of them very healthy that can run in. Darkshard is still going because I've managed to get through his back line so quickly. Now his ranged units are busy, so I do actually get more value out of these Darkshards. So here, more Chillwind coming down, but these Corsairs are going to have enough very soon. You know, there's a unit of Slayers here and a unit of Miners fighting. So he has got a small victory over on this side. Grumbling Guard's still actually going, they're going to come back. But, you know, I've taken out his Bugsman's Rangers, that Thane has been dealt with, I'm into his cannons now, and there's not really a lot he can do. This is a very, very tough matchup. Oh, also, his Lord got really, really punished in the front line and tried to run away. So now I'm getting some free shots with my Dark Shards that are arm-piercing, and the Death Hag is going to run in to try and finish him off. It's a very close fight, either one could die here, it's pretty much whichever one hits next. Which is still in debate. Ooh, that's very close. I have no idea. And yep, he broke too quickly. It looks like army loss is starting to hit, and yeah, with the damage. Oh, Death Hag shattered as well. That's pretty funny. Anyway, so over here, you can see Hargneth Executioners very damaged, but I've got still a fairly healthy bunch. They're fighting Slayers. I've got loads of other guys joining in the fight. I've just got a lot of spare units right now, so I'm using Malekith just to charge through enemies. He's got no problems, so I get a nice Chillwind on those Miners. It'll slow them down more than anything else, and yeah, and now I'm shooting at them some more. Everything shatters at this point. Army losses has hit, and now he just has his Slayers. So I'm actually going to use a Gaze of Malice to try and kill them quicker. I don't care if I hit my own guys at this point, because I have plenty to spare. So, yeah, more blood for Kain. Beautiful. So, yeah, Slayers almost dealt with. And I will actually finish them off with, oh, what's that called again? Soul Stealer. So, that one Slayer is going to have his soul stolen. Oh no, he's lost his head. He's still standing, though, by the looks of it. Bold. Anyway, so Pyrrhic victory. It didn't seem like a Pyrrhic victory, honestly. I felt like that went very well. So yeah, Death Hag only got 1 kill, but she did great. She did so much damage to the Runesmith, and she did so much damage to the Lord. I think she's really useful, just throw in the front line. You know, get some damage done. So my Witch Elves didn't do great, but they were able to pin things down on the side, and the Corsairs were able to back them up. So that went great. Yeah, not a lot of kills for the Dark Shards, but they did a load of damage to very vital units that I had to get rid of. And it worked, you know. And Hargneth Executioners, they came in, did a load of killing. But yeah, Malekith was absolutely the MVP there. He just couldn't stop him. I kept him away from the Thane, so I just kept running through all of his lines. He didn't have anything that could stop me, because his Slayers were pinned down by Witch Elves, and yeah, I just kept his Thane at arm's length, so I was able just to run through every unit. And start racking up a load of kills. I was constantly using Chillwind, which is buffing everyone else. Well, it was debuffing their armor, which was, you know, a boon to everyone else. So pretty huge. Absolutely love Malekith in this matchup, especially on the chariot. So Darv played well, but it is a crazy tough matchup. Honestly, Dark Elves just have so much armor piercing that it's just really tough. It's really easy to single out the very valuable units, and then yeah, once you've lost them, you can just clean up. You know. It's very tough, especially with Malekith on his little pimp wagon. Like, what do you do to stop him? I mean, what can you do? You just have to hope you win the front line engagement so well that you end up with just, like, your hero squad fighting Malekith on their own, you know? It's very tough. It's very tough. And you can see, I did actually neglect to attack the organ gun for quite a while, but he only got 87 kills. That was mainly against Hargoneth Executioners, but, I mean, if we look, when you get rid of 87 Hargoneth Executioners, that was most of the casualties they took. They had no problem fighting the rest of his front line, because, yeah, he had no Hammerers or Grumbling Guard that could get through that armour and do some damage. If we look at them, 11 and 17, not great. Really not great. So, yeah, I just had the tools to deal with him, and I did. So this, of course, means that it's all to play for in the last match, which is awesome. So it's going to be down to the final. So, you know, best of 5, all 5 matches, so it's going to be great. So he did win the best of 3, if you can call it that, at the start. But, you know, there's all to play for next game. So, absolutely fantastic. So, been really enjoying these games. So, thanks again, Dove. Guys, go check out his channel. There will be a link probably on the screen right now and also in the description. So if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.